When a company, are you listening? When a company becomes very large, think Walmart, think Boeing, you name it, it becomes much more difficult to manage the output of products. All right? You want to turn out a consistent product. Well, when you have thousands of employees, that becomes nearly impossible. Naturally, the company standardizes its practices across the board and begins training new employees to robotically follow standardized processes and procedures. Now, I'm not saying that having some rules, regulations, and processes is a bad thing. What I'm saying is that it eventually becomes the only thing. For many of you who worked or currently work for large companies, you watched as your carefully honed craft became a standardized procedure, and you were further pushed to the wayside as everyone slowly became a number. Mike, John, Sally, Dick, Rob, Jennifer, they became employee ID number 334678910 and 11. Look, it makes sense. The elites are supreme executives. They're rich business managers, and we the people is how they profit. Create a sinful, disgraceful, subservient race of numbered people instead of free-thinking, moral and righteous individuals. Kill God, kill the family, kill ambition, and kill all opposition. That is the mantra of the progressive elite. The rulers over the mainstream media, Hollywood, social media, public schools, big business, and scariest of all, the U.S. government. How does one become a number and not an American? A subservient employee of the progressive elite. Well, the same way it happens in a big company. It starts with training, and socialism demands you start 'em young. Take a look at this, folks. From Breitbart.com and Joel Pollack, Gavin Newsom signs law requiring gender-neutral aisles in toy stores. This is the article I was telling you about earlier. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a host of bills into law on Friday, including AB 1084, which requires, quote, gender-neutral retail departments in toy stores so that shoppers will not be encouraged to buy some toys for girls and other toys for boys. The bill, authored by Assemblymember Evan Lowe, declares that differences in products that are marketed to girls or boys are unjustified, and that it's inappropriate to imply that they should be used by one gender instead of another. And see, this shouldn't matter. This is petty little stuff, but we have first world problems here, and the leftist elite and the progressive crazies, the libtards, they've made this their number one issue. They've nitpicked all the little things so they can separate us, confuse us, and confuse our children. As such, the bill provides the following. A retail department store that offers child care items or toys for sale shall maintain a gender-neutral section or area to be labeled at the discretion of the retailer, in which a responsible selection of items and toys for children that it sells shall be displayed, regardless of whether they've been traditionally marketed for either girls or for boys. This section shall apply only to retail department stores that are physically located in California, of course, and have a total of 500 or more employees across all California retail department store locations. This section shall not apply to retail department stores that are physically located outside of California. Well, I'm so glad that the bill in California is letting the rest of the country know that we don't have to follow their rules for now. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, California. Thank you so much, Assemblyman Evan Lowe. Beginning on January 1st, 2024, a retail department store that fails to comply with this section is liable for a civil penalty not to exceed $250 for a first violation or $500 for a subsequent violation, which may be assessed and recovered in a civil action brought in the name of the people of the state of California by the Attorney General or a district attorney or city attorney in any court of competent jurisdiction. If the Attorney General, District Attorney, or City Attorney prevails in an action under this subdivision, the court shall award to the Attorney General, District Attorney, or City Attorney reasonable attorney fees and costs. Just squeeze in the money. Just squeezing the money out of people and businesses. Stores can still maintain a boys and a girls section as long as they create one gender-neutral area, though the legislation's unclear whether retailers could be punished for selling the same toys in gendered and gender-neutral sections of the store. It's California. I bet your damn butt they'll be punished for that. I bet your damn butt. So what are they going to have? Gray My Little Ponies? Are they going to have, they already have sexless Barbies. If you take the pants off the Barbie doll and the Ken doll, there's nothing there. Maybe they should just shave their heads, make them look the same, and give them different names. Maybe they should just make them look like Minions. I don't know. Gray Minions. There we go. Gender neutral. This is ridiculous. And all it does is hurt our children. He told it sounds like I'm saying lo and behold. told the Los Angeles Times, part of it is to make sure, if you're a young girl, that you can find a police car, a fire truck, a periodic table, or a dinosaur. Why would you consider a periodic table a male toy? I've seen periodic tables in pink and blue. Lowe said that. It makes no sense. You can find them in any section. And what's the big deal about going to another section? Nobody cares unless you've taught them to be sensitive, unless you've taught the parents and the children to be sensitive and soft. It's ridiculous. And then similarly, he wrote, if you're a boy, if you're more artistic and you want to play with glitter, why not? Why should you feel the stigma of saying, oh, this should be shamed? And going to a different location. I don't know about you, but I played with glitter when I was a little boy, and it didn't matter. I think the glitter we got from the craft store. We didn't even get it from the children's section. I don't even know if it exists in the children's section back then. But even if it does now, what is the big deal about walking from one place to another? It doesn't mean anything. And yet these people literally see signs in the cornflakes. They literally see crop circles. They're reading freaking tea leaves. They're making stuff up. Look. Having a gender-neutral toy section is a direct attack on normal family dynamics, and it conditions our kids to be even more confused as they become young adults. It's all part of that programming I talked about. We're all the same pile of human excrement to the elites. Men and women don't matter. Parents don't matter. Families don't matter. All that matters is that we're good little obedient numbers in the system. We're great, perfect, obedient little cogs in the wheel. I said on a previous podcast that I believe a militant sect of the LGBT community is controlled by the progressive elites. These militants, they're not fighting for the rights of the LGBT community. No, they're fighting to wipe out our entire belief system and replace it with theirs.